So, good morning, everybody. Today is Tuesday, February the 8th, 2022. And I am sitting here waiting on the trash dump to open so I can dump my trash. But one of the things that I wanted to talk to you about is trash. Do you have a way to take your trash out and burn it, or compost it, or deal with it? Because if the grid goes down due to an EMP or disaster such as a storm, a hurricane, typhoon, a volcano, an earthquake that takes out the power lines and the transformers for a couple of days, do you have a way to get rid of trash if that grid down situation continues longer than a couple days? This becomes especially important if it's in the winter or the hot summer months. Now, if it's milder weather, you can probably get away with storing some trash on your back porch or front porch if you don't have a back porch for a certain amount of time before you start getting insects in it or it starts stinking. This is especially true in the dead of winter. However, eventually you're going to have to take care of that trash. So, are you prepared for the piles of trash that a normal family will produce in a month's time? Are you prepared for that? My suggestion is find yourself a burn barrel. Check your local county laws and state laws, of course, to see if you need to get a burn permit. But yes, find yourself a burn barrel. Make yourself a compost pile, because most of your kitchen scraps, including your coffee grounds, can be composted to make fertilizer for your garden. So if you can't do that, get yourself a couple 5-gallon buckets that you can put the trash in and seal it. Okay? Because honestly, a lot of trash around is very detrimental to your health and the health of your loved ones. And this is something that you need to deal with every week. You know that you've got trash that's either got to go out in the trash can, or it's got to go to the dump, or it's got to go to your burn barrel or your compost pile. Every week you've got to deal with this trash. Okay? It is a part of living. You're going to have trash. You can't use everything. Okay? It just is not possible to use everything. You're going to have some kind of scraps and trash that are unusable. Okay? So you need to figure out how to take care of that. Alright? Now, also, with the way the supply chain is being, I would highly, 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 highly suggest that you go ahead, if you have the opportunity, to stockpile trash bags. That way you have them on hand, be it for yard debris or trash in the house, kitchen trash bags, or just little waste bucket trash bags for your small garbage cans, like in your bathrooms or your children's rooms. So I would highly recommend that if you have the opportunity. Now that means you've got the extra money, all your bills are paid, all your food is in the house, but you've got the extra money, and you go to the store and you see that they are stocked on trash bags. I'd pick up an extra box or two. Okay, I'm not saying Like a lot of preppers say, well, go buy freeze-dried food. Okay, great. Yeah, that sits up in your closet for how long before you ever use it? For those of us who do not go camping very often, that just sits up there for years. Okay? I'm not saying that. I'm saying if you go to the store and you normally buy, let's say, 2 jars of spaghetti sauce, buy 3. So then you have an extra jar. And you only want to do this if you're financially stable enough to do this, okay? Because the most important thing is to take care of your family and yourself. So if you have medical issues, you need to address those. If you have shelter issues, you need to address those, okay? And right now, that's really a issue for a lot of people. I'm reading record numbers of people being evicted out onto the streets. Record numbers. So, yes, you need to address those. But today's video is mainly about trash and how you take care of trash in a grid down situation. Because in a grid down situation, you're not going to have the trash dump. So you're going to have to figure out how to take care of the trash on your own. Okay? So you don't want to have a yard full of trash. Alright? You don't want that. So you're going to have to address this on a normal basis every week. Okay? So, yes, you can compost some of it. You can't compost everything. Okay? And you're going to have, if you are composting, be aware that it's not going to smell good, okay, on the one hand. On the other hand, in a grid down situation, you might be having to deal with coyotes and bears and predators of various kinds that are attracted to that smell. So you also need to somehow or another have protection for your family, okay? Whether it be a bow and arrow, a stick, a rock, whatever, okay? You'd be surprised what a can of hairspray and a lighter will do to a bear. Honestly. A lot of times they'll run away from you, okay? You need to have some kind of protection. Always. In situations today, you always need to have that, okay? But with trash, it's also going to attract various insects. And these insects actually break down the trash. You actually want those insects there. But when you're going out to the trash pile to dump more trash on the compost pile, well, you know, you're going to have to go and turn that compost pile or it could catch fire. Now, that's what a lot of people don't tell you about compost. It does get hot. Okay, even in the wintertime, it will get hot. And you need to have like a pitchfork and be able to turn that compost pile every couple days. Because otherwise, it could, if you have a lot of flammable material in there, it could catch fire. By flammable material, I mean yard debris. Like pine needles, old branches that have fallen down. Things of this nature can catch on fire. Okay, so you need to be able to turn that compost pile. So you do not want that compost pile right up against your house. You want to have it out in the corner of the yard somewhere. Okay, yes, it's a little bit harder to tote it from the corner to your garden beds. Yes, we understand that, but that's what you want to do. Okay, now burn barrels. Now, some counties and cities do not allow you to burn trash. You're going to have to find another way to get rid of it, okay? But some counties do allow for burning of trash. And they require, like in my county, I know that I have to have it 10 feet away from any wall and 50 feet away from any power line. So you don't want it underneath a tree. You don't want it underneath a power line. You want to have it out in the clear, a good footage away from any kind of fencing or the house or anything that sparks could fly off of that and catch on fire. So, and while you're burning trash, you need to be there with that trash. Now, I got myself a long piece of rebarb, and I use that long piece of rebarb to turn my trash in the burn barrel after it's burned down to stir the ashes of that so that I can make sure that the coals go out. Okay, so you don't want to leave live coals in your burn barrel, because live coals, a leaf could fly in there and catch on fire, and you know, you could have stuff on, especially a windy day, you can have stuff blow in there and catch on fire, and next thing you know, your whole lawn's on fire, and the next thing you know, your house is burnt down. So you want to take precautions if you're using a burn barrel, and follow all of the laws and permitting required in your county and state and city. And so that's what I wanted to tell you today. And with that, I'm going to let you go because the dump just opened and I got to go in and dump my trash. And y'all have a blessed day. Peace.